I see.
You want to always work with your biological wiring, and we're driven to feel good, so that's great. So when you start to make the association between, oh, healthy eating makes me feel good, let me do this to feel good. Maybe not feel the drug high of, binge eating chocolate, but to really feel sustainably good, you're kind of working with your own programming, and it's deeply satisfying. And all of us kind of have an inner child who wants to ignore health and just eat to feel good. And you can sort of get that inner child to wake up and mature a little bit and say, oh wow, of course I just want to have fun, I want to enjoy my food, and I want to feel good and have energy. But I can do that in a way that doesn't kind of like give me a hangover. And many people really spend their life kind of hungover from junk food.
Right.
And when that becomes the association, let me do this, make it about my emotions, make it about the way I feel, I think it's far more motivating. I actually think that is more authentic than trying to be healthy, bizarrely.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's a little bit too esoteric.
Exactly. Health, it's like this abstract thing. I don't want to get a heart attack and I don't want to get cancer. There's nothing positive there to focus on. There's nothing inspiring about not getting a heart attack.
Right.
And even weight loss, the fact of the matter is when it comes to weight loss, mostly when we think about weight loss, even though it really is a healthy thing and you really can do it for yourself, mostly what's driving it is a sense of shame. I don't want other people to see me with all this weight. And even for guys, it's worse for women, but men have it too. And then men, because we feel like men, we don't admit it. We don't even admit it to ourselves that really we don't want our friends to look at us and see us as fat. And that's there in the background, completely disinspired, completely disempowered. And so when you get the focus away from that to, wow, my energy levels, my mood, that's really important to me. I think it's a much more mentally healthy approach to healthy eating.
Yeah, that's very awesome. This is one point. I heard an economist, sort of a renegade economist, Paul Zane Pilsner.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I know Paul Zane Pilsner. He's great.
He said in his research about the wellness industry, he wrote about the next $1 trillion industry, that the cigarette companies, the owners of the tobacco companies, were shifting their resources and buying up food companies, and they were using their sort of science behind cigarettes and the addiction that's obviously there.
Very true.
Translating some of the addictive qualities that they have in their cigarettes.
This is not well known.
Potato chips.
At one point, Nabisco was owned by R.J. Reynolds, who makes cool cigarettes. Kraft, Philip Morris. So the largest processed food manufacturers in America were actually cigarette companies. Altria was the name of this company that owned Philip Morris and also owned Kraft Foods. And there's no question that foods were being engineered to be as addictive as possible. And very fascinatingly, some of the fast food restaurants pioneered a lot of the initial research on hunger drive. And of course they pioneered it to find out how to maximize it.
Right.
How to get people to overeat as much as possible. Because they found out that when people overate, it caused a drug high in the brain which got them addicted to the substances and then got them to go back to the restaurants. So there's something a little bit sinister here. I think we all have to be wary of blaming evil corporations for trying to manipulate, because corporations, they're there to make profits. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And it's our job as intelligent, responsible consumers to take responsibility for our own health and well-being. But there has been some conscious design, probably, it really, really looks like, of many of the junk and fast foods in our cultures to be as addictive as possible.
Yeah, one example is, for example, in the convenience store, the size of a personal individual pack of potato chips, there's not enough in that bag to get anywhere near satisfied, so you wind up buying 2 bags.
Yes.
Or you buy the larger size. And
of course what's fascinating is that the way a potato chip is designed, it's almost impossible to get full eating it.
Yeah.
So consider this, right? A bag of potato chips about that big has about 300 calories. You can eat that bag of potato chips no problem and be starving, not even an appetizer. A can of beans that big has about 300 calories. You eat that can of beans, you're pretty much full.
Right.
So a bag of potato chips this big has 900 calories. Most people can go through that and come back for more. Could you go through 3 cans of beans? You pop.
Right.
So it's really interesting. These foods are designed to be fundamentally unsatisfying, to move through the digestive system very quickly. And the reason they're designed to do that is the faster these foods get through your digestive system, the faster they get into your bloodstream, and the faster food gets into your bloodstream, the more powerfully it changes your brain chemistry. It's all about speed. When food enters your bloodstream slowly, it changes your brain chemistry slowly. When food enters your bloodstream quickly, it changes your brain chemistry quickly. The faster the change in chemistry, the more powerful the addiction. So this one is really, really cool. You know, cocaine comes from coca leaves. And I'm actually going to Peru in a week, and I've been to Peru before. And when you get to Peru, you get altitude sickness. They give you these coca leaves to chew. And they're this mild stimulant, and you chew them, and you don't get high, but they kind of ward off your appetite a little bit, and they give you some energy, and they're fine. You take that coca leaf, and you process it into this refined white powder. And if you then sort that refined white powder, it's cocaine. And it causes this massive drug high, this tremendous energy surge, and gets you very addicted. We'll then take that cocaine and further process it into crack. And it causes an even more intense high, and it's even more addictive. When scientists started to look at the addictive properties of these drugs, they found that chewing a coca leaf changes brain chemistry like this. Doing cocaine changes brain chemistry like this, and doing crack changes brain chemistry like that.
Wow.
So the faster a chemical changes brain chemistry, again, coca leaf is like this, cocaine is like that, crack is like that, the faster a chemical changes your brain chemistry, the more intense the high, the more intense the crash, and then the more profound the addiction. Because the brain is then driven to get back to the state that it was catapulted into. Well, here's one that's really interesting. If you take sugar beets or sugar cane, which are vegetables out there in nature, and you chew sugar cane or you chew sugar beets, it sends your blood chemistry like this. If you then extract the sugar but leave the sugar raw, like sugar in the raw, it changes your blood chemistry like that. You refine it to white sugar, changes your blood chemistry like that. And the brain chemistry follows the blood chemistry. So the substances get more addictive as they're more highly refined, as they change the chemistry faster. And a lot of our processed foods have been engineered to change blood and brain chemistry as quickly as